guys. As you can see, it's not time for the mid-month update, but I felt like it would be a good idea to tell you what happened yesterday, right? If you've been watching my videos, you know I've been working a lot lately. Like, not exactly day on, day off, but I have 24-hour shifts where they give me 12 hours where I have to be up or 24 hours where I have to be up for the entire 24 hours, all right? And I do that once every 3 days. Sometimes it's every other day, but for the most part, it's once every 3 days. And then I have one 24-hour period between before I have to come back to work. So I go to work on the first day for 24 hours. Next day I have off. The day after that I have to be back at work. The day after that it starts over again, right? Those of you who have done shifts like this know it's extremely taxing on your body. Like, it causes you to, how do you put it? You're not able to regenerate the sleep that you need, right? So your body's not able to heal the way it's supposed to, and you feel very, very drained most of the time. It also doesn't allow you to digest properly, and you feel kind of sick. You spend a lot of time in the bathroom, needless to say. That's not the issue, right? I mean, I could do all that if they gave me like 1 day on, 2 days off, not a problem, right? It gives you that extra day to relax and recoup. But it taxes your sleep, because if you're on for 24 hours and you get off at, like, say 9 in the morning, so 9 to 9, that means that like, in the Army, we have to be at work at 6. So it's more than 24 hours, but yeah. And that next day, you're not really able to sleep very well. You know, it's daytime, it's kind of hot right now. So it's a little more difficult to sleep. So it ends up being a lot more than 24 hours that you're up. And it's pretty taxing, right? So what happened yesterday was, when I got off shift, I wasn't feeling like I was able to drive, right? I was drifting, like my consciousness wasn't quite there, wasn't quite right. I felt like everything was fake. When I was trying to drive, I was swerving. So I pulled off onto a pretty secluded park. Almost no one goes there, except for to sleep during lunch or during the lunch breaks to eat lunch. You know, there's an old decrepit play structure over there, and it's pretty much rotted. No kids really go play there. I pulled off in there, climbed in the back seat, passed out. Well, there was an explosion on base, I guess. Like, someone blew something up, and no one was hurt, luckily. But the MPs, the cops, they decided they were gonna go off and look in all the deserted areas and see if they could find whoever did it, thinking that they'd actually be able to find the guy. I don't think they did. I don't think it's even been reported except for this video right here. But an MP comes over to me and he knocks on the window. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm sleeping." "What does it look like I'm doing?" He's like, "Well, it looks like you live in your car, and that's not permitted, so I'm going to have to ask you to get out of the car." And basically what he wanted to do is he wanted to look through the car to see if I was living in it. You know, of course I am, but I gave him my buddy's address, my buddy's phone number, and he called my buddy. My buddy's like, "Yeah, he's not living here," but he didn't call him until after he had already called my unit and all that. Yeah, so it ended up being a huge fiasco. The cop basically was like, "I understand that you were tired and all that, but you couldn't have just drove back to your company and go to sleep there." I'm like, I wasn't feeling like driving. I didn't feel safe to drive. All right, so why would I turn around and drive the I think it was about 3 miles that I've driven at that point. Why would I, if I'm unsafe to drive, I'm unsafe to drive. I pulled over, I crashed out, and that was it, you know. And then my company called me in this morning, right? And I had to go in there and explain the whole situation, and they blew it out of proportion. Like, I don't know if you guys know anything about the Army, but you could say that this person picked their nose, right? And within two people, literally two people hearing the story, it's embellished to the point where the person picked their butt, picked their nose, then ate the booger, right, without washing their hands, any of that. You know, that's just an exaggeration, or not really exaggeration, but an example. Not saying that that's actually happened, but you know, it could. That's basically how the news network works. All right, I got called in there, and literally within two people, right? The MP called my company. My company called one of the NCOs. The NCO came over and talked to the MP, right? That NCO talked to our acting first sergeant, who's literally the next person in line to be talked to, right? And when he talked to that person, somehow magically it turned into I was detained, and I did be picked up from the cop station, the MP station, and of course that wasn't true. I mean, I did nothing wrong. I was in the right. The MP said they would have done the same thing. I walk in there, they instantly started yelling at me like, "Why were you detained for this? You were breaking the law." I'm like, I wasn't breaking the law. The cop said he would do the exact same thing if he was feeling tired and unable to drive back. But yeah. Anyways, I thought I'd share that little story with you guys. I'm not in any trouble from it. They said that if I develop a pattern of living in my car and sleeping in my car, they're going to have to press charges, or they're going to have to try and chapter me for whatever, you know. Basically, how do you put it? They had the light shining on them. Like, everyone was looking at them because they had one of their guys sleeping in the car. So now I'm hoping that the higher-ups might look at my company and be like, yeah, that roster you guys have going there, it's not supposed to be that way. You're messing with your Joes. You're messing with your guys' health. You know, obviously you're taxing these guys or working these guys to the point that they're not able to take care of themselves. Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to share that with you. Hope you guys are having a great month. My wife's been staying with me for the last last week or so, because her birthday's next week, and we're going back down to Oregon. She's gonna help me drive back down. As you guys know, I have horrible shoulders, so I can't drive long distances. But yeah, she's here. Her birthday's next week, then mine's 2 weeks after hers. So hope you guys have a great time, and I'll update you guys when the 6 months comes around. Bye.